Hello everyone, this is Cherie, and this is a quick NaNoWriMo update. Today is November 23rd. Happy American Thanksgiving. And I am caught up. I have been doing a chapter adaptation a day of She, and yeah, things are going good. If if you just do a little bit every day, you can get something done. You know, at the end of the month, it's going to be this huge thing. So I definitely recommend just doing a little at a time, but make it consistent, make it daily. So here's where I am. Before I show you my script, I just want to tell you I saw a fourth version of the movie She. It was from 1925, and it was a black and white silent film. Now, this was actually the most accurate version of the novel, in part because Sir H. Rider Haggard, the author of the novel, wrote the intertitles. So where we last left off, Holly, Leo, Job, and Muhammad are all taken to a cave, and the old man Bilali, who kind of acts as the father figure, goes to talk to She about what they should do with these new guests, because usually when people come into their country, they're killed. So he leaves. So then on page 58, a woman who is identified in the book as a buxom woman, and that's like all she's given. So I'm gonna have to give her a name when I rewrite this. This buxom woman goes up to Job and kisses him, just the way Eustaine had kissed Leo before. However, Job reacts completely differently and recoils from this kiss, and it kind of upsets the woman. So later, the guests are informed that a feast is to be held in their honor. At the feast, the buxom woman turns her attentions to Muhammad this time, and that's in order to get him to relax before he is killed and eaten. So these are a group of cannibals, and they have this thing called the hot pot that they put on someone's head, and they kill them, and then they eat them. So an action fight ensues after this. Leo is wounded, Eustaine saves him, and in the nick of time, Bilali returns and tells everyone to cease. By the end of it, there are 14 dead, including Muhammad and the buxom woman. After that, Bilali takes them to She's lair. Leo is bedridden, and so therefore Holly is the one who is presented to She Who Must Be Obeyed, also known as Aisha. Now, I'm going to keep saying Aisha because that's kind of our American pronunciation, but I went on Google and I think it's Aisha. Like there's like a double A or a long A sound, Aisha. It's not Aisha. But anyway, I'm American and I'm not 100% sure how you say it, so I'm just going to keep saying Aisha. So Holly's introduced to Aisha. Here it's page 90. Now normally, I'll get into this horror thing later. In a horror movie, you meet the monster at the midpoint. So if it's a 2-hour movie, it would be page 60. So I got to get this down to where this all happens around page 60. This is a very long meeting. It goes from page 90 all the way to page 108. 18 pages of them just like talking. It's really, really way too long. It needs to be like 2 pages. And also this is where Aisha takes off her veils because she's always cloaked so people can't see her face. And she exposes her face to Holly and he falls in love with her because she is like this glowing being. She's kind of magical. Later on, when Holly can't sleep, he kind of stumbles around the caves and finds Aisha in a tomb with a body which is also covered, and she is controlling this fire that's in the tomb. Like she'll raise up her arms and the fire will shoot up, and then she'll bring down her arms and the fire will die down. And so he's, getting the sense that she is really a sorceress. Then on page 121, Aisha passes judgment on the cannibals. In the book, she has them taken to the cave of torture. In the movies I've seen, the movies are scarier. There's actually like a fire pit, and they like kind of like throw them into the fire pit. So when I rewrite this, I'm gonna make it scarier, like the movies have made it, because just saying, okay, now you must go to the cave of torture, and then not showing anything, it's a little bit of a letdown, I think. All right. And then Leo's still out of action. He's still, near death. So Aisha's showing Holly around, and she gives him a tour of the burial chambers and a pit. And it's a pit of thousands of human skeletons piled up in a pyramid. It's a wonderful scene. I just, and that's one that I don't recall that was in any of the movies. And this is just one of those scary, Indiana Jones type scenes. And then in the burial chamber, when Holly touches one of the corpses, the face caves in upon itself. And it's just, these are great visuals for a movie. I love it so much. All right, finally on page 137, Aisha agrees to come and check on Holly's friend Leo and heal him. As soon as she sees him, she gets very upset that she hadn't been called to him before. And she tells them that he is the reincarnation of her dead lover, Callicrates. And she heals him immediately. After that, Aisha questions Eustaine about her relationship to Leo. And she says, well, by our customs, he is my husband now. And Aisha wants to kill her, but Holly says, oh, come on, don't kill her. And so Aisha puts a mark on her hair with her fingers, like these 3 white finger marks appear on her hair, so she can tell who Eustaine is if she ever sees her again, and she bans Eustaine from the land. Aisha arranges a masked theater type dance for her guests, and it's all very bizarre and weird, and Eustaine disguises herself as a leopard in the dance. And so her goal is to take Leo away, but unfortunately she's discovered by Aisha, and Aisha kills Eustaine. Once she kills Eustaine and Leo is horrified, Aisha uncloaks herself again, reveals herself to Leo, and he falls under her spell and totally forgets about Eustaine. That is the power of she. Next, Aisha takes Leo and Holly back to the place where Holly had seen her, doing the fire dance, and shows Leo the body that's on the slab, and it's Callicrates, the dead lover. And so now that Leo is here, the reincarnation of Callicrates, she dissolves the body in acid, so it is no more. Aisha tells Leo that in order for them to be married, Leo must also go through the fire of life, the pillar of fire that gave her her eternal life. And so that's where I've ended up. They are on a journey to go to the volcano where this fire of life is. All right, and just real quick on the horror thing. In general, when you look up the genre of she online, it will say it's an action adventure, an adventure romance, a gothic adventure, and I honestly think that it would be a great horror. It's an action adventure horror, and so when I do my rewrite, that's what I am going to focus on. There's a scene where they're in the marshes and they see the will-o'-the-wisps, those little fire things, and I'm going to develop that more into a scene. All the caves that they're staying in are actually tombs, and that's really creepy. Holly discovers a preserved foot, a woman's foot underneath the bench that he sleeps on. The cannibal feast and the hot pot is all super scary. The fire sorcery, the skeleton pit, the face caving in on itself. Oh, and at the dance, I didn't even tell you this part. All the torches that they use were the human mummies, and they were burning human mummies as their lamplight. And of course, then dissolving the Callicrates in the acid. And I haven't even gotten to the end, where one of the final scenes is where Aisha in order to entice Leo to bathe in the flames, she goes into the flames again herself in order to show him it's okay. And that's a horror scene in itself too. So yeah, so I'm just gonna really do this up as a horror. Thank you for joining me for this wrap up, and I will see you for my final wrap up at the end of the month. Bye.